But crocodiles are tough. It is difficult for even a hippopotamus to hurt them. The enormous crocodile picked himself up and crept towards the place where the children's playground was. Now for clever trick number 2, he said to himself. This one is certain to work. There were no children in the playground at that moment. They were all in school. The enormous crocodile found a large piece of wood and placed it in the middle of the playground. Then he lay across the piece of wood, tucked in his feet, so he looked almost exactly like a seesaw. When school was over, the children all came running onto the playground. "Oh, look!" they cried. "We've got a new seesaw!" They all crowded round, shouting with excitement. "Bugs, I go first!" "I'll get on the other end!" "I want to go first!" "So do I!" "So do I!" Then a little girl who was older than the others said, "It's rather a funny, knobbly sort of seesaw, isn't it? Do you think it'll be safe to sit on?" "Of course it will," the others said. "It looks strong as anything." The enormous crocodile opened one eye, just a tiny bit, and watched the children who were crowded around him. Soon he thought, "One of them is going to sit on my head, and then I will give a jerk and a snap, and after that it will be yum, yum, yum." At that moment there was a flash of brown, and something jumped into the playground and hopped up to the top of the swings. It was Muddle Wump, the monkey. "Run!" Muddle Wump shouted to the children. "All of you, run, run, run! That's not a seesaw. It's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you up." The children screamed, "Ah!" and ran for their lives. Muddle Wump disappeared back into the jungle, and the enormous crocodile was left all alone in the playground. He looks quite dejected, doesn't he? His whole body has gone limp. He cursed the monkey and waddled back into the bushes to hide. "I'm getting hungrier and hungrier," he said. "I shall have to eat at least 4 children now before I'm full up." The enormous crocodile crept along the edge of the town, taking great care not to be seen. He came to a place where they were getting ready to have a fair. There were slides and swings and dodgem cars and people selling popcorn and candy floss. There was also a big roundabout. The roundabout had marvellous wooden creatures for the children to ride on and to sit on. There were white horses and lions and tigers and mermaids with fishes' tails and fearsome dragons with red tongues sticking out of their mouths. "Now for clever trick number 3, said the enormous crocodile, licking his lips. When no one was watching, he crept up to the roundabout and put himself between a wooden lion and a fearsome dragon. He sat up a bit on his back legs, and he kept very still. He looked exactly like a wooden crocodile on the roundabout. Soon all sorts of children came flocking into the fair. Several of them ran towards the roundabout. They were very excited. "I'm going to ride on a dragon," cried one. I'm going on a lovely white horse, cried another. I'm going on a lion, cried a third one. And one little girl, whose name was Jill, said, I'm going to ride on that funny wooden crocodile. The enormous crocodile kept very still, but he could see the little girl coming towards him. Oh, yummy, yum, yum, he thought. I'll gollop and gulp her up easily. Suddenly, there was a swish and a swash, and something came swishing and swooshing out of the sky. It was the roly-poly bird again. He flew round and round the roundabout, singing, Look out, Jill, look out, look out, look out! Don't ride on the crocodile! Jill stopped and looked up. That's not a wooden crocodile, sang the roly-poly bird. It's a real one. It's the enormous crocodile from the river, and he wants to eat you up. Jill turned and ran. So did all the other children. Even the man who was working on the roundabout jumped off it and ran away as fast as he could. All the children screamed, Ah! Jill turned and ran. So did all the other children. The enormous crocodile cursed the roly-poly bird and waddled back into the bushes to hide. I'm so hungry now, he said to himself. I could eat 6 children before I am full up. Just outside the town there was a pretty little field with trees and bushes all round it. This was called the picnic place. There were several wooden tables and long benches, and people were allowed to go there and have a picnic at any time. The enormous crocodile crept over to the picnic place. There was no one in sight. Now for clever trick number 4, he whispered to himself. He picked a lovely bunch of flowers and arranged it on one of the tables. From the same table, he took away one of the benches and hid it in the bushes. Then he put himself in the place where the bench had been. By tucking his head under his chest and by twisting his tail out of sight, he made himself look very much like a long wooden bench with 4 legs. Soon 2 boys and 2 girls came along carrying baskets of food. They were all from one family, and their mother had said they could go out and have a picnic together. Which table shall we sit at? Said one. Let's take the table with the lovely flowers on it, said another. The enormous crocodile kept as quiet as a mouse. I shall eat them all, he said to himself. They will come and sit on my back, and I will swizzle my head round quickly, and after that it'll be squish, crunch, gollop. Suddenly, a deep, big voice from the jungle shouted, Stand back, children! Stand back! Stand back! The children stopped and stared at the place where the voice was coming from. Then, with a crashing of branches, Trunky the elephant came rushing out of the jungle. That's not a bench you are going to sit on, he bellowed. It's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you all up. Trunky trotted over to the spot where the enormous crocodile was standing, and quick as a flash he wrapped his trunk around the crocodile's tail and hoisted him into the air. "Hey, let me go!" yelled the enormous crocodile, who was now dangling upside down. "Let me go! Let me go!" "No," said Trunky. "I will not let you go," as he spoke down his trunk. "We'll all have had quite enough of your clever tricks." Trunky began to swing the crocodile round and round and round in the air. At first he swung him slowly. Then he swung him faster and faster and faster and faster still. Soon the enormous crocodile was just a blurry circle going round and round Trunky's head. Just look at that. Suddenly, Trunky let go of the crocodile's tail, and the crocodile went shooting high up into the sky like a huge green rocket. Up and up he went, faster and faster and higher and higher. He was going so fast and so high that soon the earth was just a tiny dot miles below. He swished on and on. He whizzed far into space. He whizzed past the moon. He whizzed past stars and planets, until at last, with a most enormous bang, the enormous crocodile crashed headfirst into the hot, hot, hot sun, and he was sizzled up like a sausage. And that's the end of the story. I think the pictures are delightful, don't you?